I'm Rob.
I'm Squez.
I'm Adam.
I'm Mohan.
We're CS99TV, aka Pottstown University, and this is the Step Up Podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Step Up Podcast. It's your host, Nelly, in the building. Got home team, Allie.
What is going on?
Got special guests with me, my brothers from another CS9TV. Talk to me, guys.
How we doing?
Thanks for having us. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
Go down the line. Can we drop a name? Just give your name.
My actual name or what they call me?
Both.
All right, my real name is Danny, but they call me Squez.
I'm Adam.
Rob.
Mohan.
Whoa, let's rewind real quick. Adam, what do they call you?
Can I have a glove?
Eric Slim.
That's a new one, though, but that's a new nickname.
What was the one before?
We don't talk about that one.
No.
Nah,
Oh, no.
Can't say that.
Back down when you can't
Okay,
say.
all right, so Eric
But
Slim.
Eric Slim. I'll take that one.
Good
Rob?
name.
That's a good one. It's
Just Rob.
Just Rob.
Rob.
Just
Just
Rob.
Rob.
Mo?
Mohan or Willie.
Or Willie.
Willie.
Willie
I've
B.
heard Willie a lot.
Willie B.
I've heard Willie
Where
a
did
lot.
Willie come from?
I didn't have much to say.
Whoa.
Whoa, I wouldn't say that.
Go ahead, explain it.
You don't want
There's
that.
not really an explanation.
Oh, okay.
I just like the name Willie.
It's just that it rolls off the tongue.
How did you four meet each other?
Rob and I grew up together, actually, so
No, you guys have that bond. It's pretty obvious. You guys are best friends.
Yeah, I mean, we're neighbors.
we're literally neighbors.
Yeah.
We grew up our entire life. I've known him since like really third grade, fourth grade. We kind of started talking and hanging out more like in sixth grade probably, and then we started creating content early. We've done YouTube content even before CS99TV even existed. We've been doing it for years, really.
What kind of content?
Oh, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that, but we used to make content back in the day, and it was just like fun stuff as kids, and it honestly took off and did pretty well. So as a teenager, I didn't really have to work a job. It was great. It was a great time. We just would hang out and just kind of make fun stuff, and ever since then, we kind of learned a little more about the social media side, and once college hit, that's when we brought on Mohan and Squez, and we kind of started creating new types of content. We started forming around the sports world, and then eventually kind of catered more towards baseball, which has been pretty cool for us. And even a guy like myself who never even played baseball growing up, it's been cool to kind of grow around it and see how the sport works. And a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences to the sports that I played growing up. We've been a pretty diverse group in terms of sports, like baseball guys. Mohan played soccer growing up, and we
Notice
athletes.
the foot
covered a lot of
fairies.
sports over the years. Let's just say that, but it's been fun.
Who's between you four? Everybody knows you guys, and I go around with you guys too. It's pretty fun. Who's the mastermind? I know, but let's let the audience know. Who's the mastermind? I know it's you and Rob together. Is it you two?
It really is, honestly.
Or is it? Do you guys put four heads? How does it work when you guys are talking?
What's your
ideas?
process look like? Like when you're on the road, or who's kind of doing what?
Rob and I definitely run the show. We're kind of the ones that plan everything, put everything together. We're managing everything. We're editing. We're posting the content. We're managing the brand that we actually kind of created over the last few years. And now, obviously, having a team, managing two things has been a lot. But we've been great, and obviously having the support of Squez and Mohan has been great over the last couple of years. And it's been fun, honestly. It really has just been a lot of fun, even for me. I never thought ever that I would be creating baseball content for a living, but you know what? It's worked out, and it's been a ton of fun. So
You kind of created your own game. Like the tennis baseball thing is so
Tennis
That
sick.
was pretty sick. No, that's fun. I mean,
tennis baseball is a lot of fun. That was a random idea, honestly. I guess it was 3 years ago when we came up with it, and that was still at the time when we created any types of sports content. It wasn't just baseball. We did basketball, we did soccer, we did tennis. And we were like, you know what? Why don't we just mash two sports that Rob and I both played and just see how it works out? First video, probably 5 million views overnight.
Damn.
And we were like, you know what? We might be on to something. This is pretty cool. And now every time we go out, everyone's asking, like, we want more tennis baseball. So that's been cool. But,
Nah, that's pretty. So let's talk about each one of you. You got Danny here inside of you. Baseball player.
Yep.
Tell me, you college kid played.
I played D3 at Rutgers Camden. I just finished up 5 years there.
What position?
Second base. Every year except one. I was at short. They moved me over.
Are you
They
fast?
said the arm wasn't. They said the arm wasn't cutting it.
arm was weak.
They said the glove was good, but the arm wasn't cutting
Squez,
it.
are you
They moved me to
fast?
Yeah,
second.
are you fast?
I'm average.
What does that mean?
I'll steal a couple bags, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I'm not beating out a ground ball.
You want to tell the story about when you raced a kid at East Coast?
Oh, so one time we were at East Cobb. This is like my second trip, and some kid wanted to race, and Adam tricked me. He was like, "Yeah, you can race Squez," and my shoes weren't tied, and it was an uphill slope,
Oh no.
and I ate it. It never got
Video's
posted.
still an
Yeah.
archive.
The
but
video is
it can
still
go out
hard,
whenever.
but I bang.
Can we get the clip for just this?
I'll send
Like,
it.
You
Roll the
can
clip.
bang.
It was
The first release of
That was like my first. Like,
Wow.
that was one of like the first trips. Like,
Yeah.
because I
That
was down
actually-
there coaching.
Yeah, that actually probably was the
Dang.
first trip that Squez ever
Ever did.
Yeah,
did
that
with
was
us.
that was pretty fun.
Ate
So
dirt.
that was cool.
Oh, I ate it. It was bad. No, but I played baseball my whole life. You know, I've coached since like COVID hit, and I coached for like 4 years, like an actual travel team, and then I played obviously myself.
So you know what you guys are doing and everything when it comes to travel ball and giving the opportunity you guys are giving. Even though it's fun, it's still a platform. You know, in a sense, I got the Philly Scout team. I built the platform to build these kids' own brand. That's what you guys are doing essentially. They have their own brand when they leave the Pottstown, right? So that's pretty cool that you understand that.
Yeah.
as a
So
coach.
like, I think for my end, I'm like when I was brought on, it was like the ins and outs of like the baseball world that I can give insight on, and like when it comes to like the scout teams, like he just has to do the work behind it, but on the field, it's just like he gives it to me to work on.
Yeah.
And then like for the content aspect, all four of us will come together to figure all of it out.
That's sweet. So let's go into Adam real quick.
Yeah.
Wasn't a baseball player. Obviously, I'm going down the line if you notice. Tell me, tennis guy,
Yeah.
college tennis player. What we got here? What did you review?
Yeah, I've been playing tennis for a long time. Probably started when I was 8. Kind of did a lot of like very similar stuff to what some of these kids are doing now. A lot of travel, playing national tournaments. I actually used to travel like around the world playing tournaments when I was younger, and it was a lot growing up, especially if you're a kid. And so like I relate to some of these kids and the things that they go through, and I understand that, you know, to them it looks normal. It looks like what, you know, they do every single day. But I know deep down like what they're going through and how difficult that is to be a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old having to travel and play and be around cameras and be around the whole process really is difficult. Most of them handle it really well, which is cool to see. But yeah, so I played tennis my whole life and ended up playing Division III for about a week.
Attaboy.
It was short-lived, let's just say that. I got on campus, got my foot run over the day before
I remember
practice.
this story.
Yeah, that's a rough one. So I got on campus. It was the day before practice. I'm in the dining hall, and I got my foot run over. Called up the coach, said, "Hey, like I'm probably not playing," and then COVID hit. Really, so like that was the year. Like that was my freshman year. COVID hit. And there really wasn't just a way to kind of get back at that point. I got back on campus my junior year.
Oh, that's tough.
This whole channel was already started at that point, and so
2 years after.
Yes.
Oh,
So and the whole channel was already started and going at that point. So there was really no going back at that point. I just committed to doing this, and
you doing well.
here we are. It's working out pretty well.
Yeah. So all right. So let's get into Rob now. Rob, baseball guy.
Yeah, so played baseball my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Up until high school, that's where I stopped. But played a lot of travel ball, high school ball. But once again, ended there. Couldn't play college. You know, definitely skill level wise, might not have been there. But I did experience the travel ball life. And when you're in that kind of high school travel ball life, there's a lot of pressure, you know, and that's something you got to think about. These kids are under a lot of pressure. Every tournament they go to, especially for like the top players, their coaches, you know, they're on top of them. And that's one of the things why we created this team is it's about having fun, you know. This
I'm
team
glad
is
you
relaxed.
said that. I'm glad because my biggest thing is you can't make it a job too early, and a lot of these organizations from 12 and up make it a job really early. Put all this pressure on them, and it's not fun when it's a job. No one wants to go to work.
Because you guys have done what? 3 scout teams. It's
This is our
12.
fourth
This is
Yeah.
our fourth edition.
It's our fourth.
that
So
we're
it's
doing
actually
right now.
this is like the 1 year anniversary. Actually, same tournament last year.
Yep.
12 and team. That was the
that's
first
crazy.
one.
It's
So
a year ago.
Yeah.
But you're getting to be around these kids that are like younger ages and getting to experience that. What's something that you think you've learned, even if you came out of the baseball world, that you guys are kind of keep the game fun, but what also like to motivate these kids going into the future? Have you noticed is something, a piece of advice you could give them to have success on or off the field?
For like watching it and being just a part of baseball, I'd tell them like, at the end of the day, whether you strike out, whether you hit 2 homers, you wake up the next day like it's nothing matters about that game, especially at this age, right? Like you still have your family, you still have your friends. Like don't make it bigger than it has to be.
One game shouldn't dictate your life.
No,
You
not
know
at
what
all.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is
Like-
baseball. You're gonna fail more times here, and call it what it is. You're gonna fail a lot in life as well. You know,
Exactly.
you're gonna learn, and this is what it is. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's get into Mo over here, home team.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about the soccer career.
I played soccer growing up since I was 4. Nothing to do with baseball, but hopping on around COVID, it's pretty cool to see how the world of baseball works, and honestly, kind of impressive the amount of moving pieces that these teams, especially the national teams, go through. Bring all these players, all the supplies to these big tournaments, and these kids are competing for weekends and they're traveling next place. Some of them are homeschooled. It's kind of hard for them, and then some of them do live the public, maybe private school life. But seeing how they're able to adapt in these like high pressure situations that sometimes may be out of their control, maybe their coaches, like you mentioned on your other podcast, the coaches are putting more pressure on them than they probably should be seeing, and it's more about their resume than maybe the players.
Yeah.
So seeing them kind of avoid that distraction, especially kind of going all over the place, but social media, for example, is a big distraction right now. And the whole right now point of them is building their brand, but with cameras everywhere, they're kind of put into a hole where if they mess up, they think everything's over.
Yeah.
But seeing how they push past that and use social media for the better of it and not realize that's a distraction, it's been cool to see.
I have a question for Adam and Mo. 2 non-baseball guys entering, the real baseball world. Does this give you a little different feeling in other sports? Understanding like baseball's harder than what we thought. Obviously you were comfortable in your environment, stepping out of it and understanding. Obviously your best friend is a baseball guy, but just being there and understanding the coaches, what we have to go through and put in the lineup. You realize, it takes 4 months to play one event. Explain that to me a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's very different. It's a very different world. At least for me, and I think it's probably different for Mohan as well, but at least for me playing an individual sport, there is not really this large coaching dynamic in that sport. When you're playing these tournaments, you don't get coached. Like you can't, when you're out there, you're by yourself. Like there's no coach that travels with you. You're on your own. So like it's a very different world, but it's been interesting to kind of see how it works. And now that I've been around it for 4 years, you see things that, you never thought you really would. And honestly, it's been cool in some ways, and in other ways it's been eye-opening and just, but at the end of the day, for us, our brand and what we do, it's all about the kids, and we're trying to give back and we're trying to help them understand the bigger picture really at the end of the day. And for us, with our team, we tell our players all the time, just enjoy the process. Like that's the most important thing in my mind is, when I look back at my career and what I did back in the day, I don't remember, the wins are great. Don't get me wrong. The wins are great. But like,
It's the journey.
right, it's almost like when you get to a milestone, whether it was like hitting 1 million subscribers on YouTube or winning a big tournament, it's great and you want it. And when you get it, it's like, it's kind of, at least for me, it was almost numb.
Well, in my dugout, my biggest saying is, who remembers who won that tournament? Nobody. You know what they remember? Who hit that home run in this situation? Who hit this double? Who went off? Who hit 95? That's what they remember.
Right, and that's what I preach all the time is like, enjoy the little things, right? Like, enjoy the things that maybe you don't think about when you're going through it, but when you go back and you look back at your career one day, you're going to remember the people that you met, the things that you got to do, the places you got to travel to. Those are the things you're going to remember more so than like winning this one random tournament that maybe in the moment you thought was the biggest deal in the world, right? But even you going to dinner with the boys is something you probably never thought. At some point, you're never going to see those guys again. Like there's a very good chance you never do. And there's like really close friends that I had when I was younger that I used to love hanging out with. To this point, I don't even know where they are anymore. But I do cherish those moments and I do remember that. And that's honestly some of the biggest highlights of my athletic career.
For you, tennis, there's no teammates, right?
No.
This is you.
It's
so
just me.
Is it different going into a dugout and these guys have that brotherhood, camaraderie, and these guys don't even play in the same team, but you walk in, they all know each other.
It's cool, and honestly, that's looking back in ways I almost wish that I was able to play a team sport back in the day because tennis tournaments are very different. You go there and it's everybody in the room is against you, right? And
You know what you gotta say though, it's so cool because you guys travel almost in like a team of your own
Yes.
nowadays.
You built your own team.
Yeah, and you talk about those memories and like whatever it may be. What is something or like a trip for you guys that's been like memorable, just good moment with each other? Good. I know you guys have a lot of travel trouble.
it's not the easiest.
You just got bad luck.
A lot of
luck
luck.
more than
Who could
anything.
argue that?
But,
Luck be more than anything. I mean, weather.
but what's a memorable moment from of all the places you guys have got to go, the teams you've had? What was like one of the top trips?
It's a hard one.
Omaha?
I think one of my favorite was Arizona. Because we got our content done that we had to do, but there was a lot of downtime being where we were at, and the house we stayed at was in the middle of the desert. So we spent time in the house and we were just talking and having
You got to know each other, got
Yeah.
to build
Yeah,
that,
just
boy time.
camaraderie.
That
is
was
what
one
I'm
of
talking
our-
Boy
about.
time.
that was one of my first trips.
Yeah, that's
cute.
First
Yeah.
or second
Did
trip.
you guys have
That's a
Nerf
cute
guns
situation
then?
right there.
That was-
They
That
like
was-
to have
so-
Nerf wars and it hurts really bad. I don't know if you still travel with them, but you
Oh, yeah.
turn a corner in the house and you're
she is snitching on us. She's snitching on us.
Yeah,
with
so
Nerf
that-
guns.
but it's intense.
Funny enough,
So
that's exactly
that's the
what
exact
it's
trip.
Yeah,
about.
we're referring to that right
That's where
now.
it was
Sorry,
born.
cut it out.
Yeah.
That's the first.
That was the first time. We were
It
basically bored, and we're basically kids. Let's be real. We are adults, but at the same time we're still young, and we have our immature moments. So we were bored. We turned off the lights, and we were playing hide and seek randomly at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then somehow we got Nerf guns the next day, and we're shooting each other. And
I've been there. I've been there.
It's a good at this point.
And now
it's,
I think I had welts.
yeah, now if any one of the coaches that comes to scout teams, they experience it, and it's
Good
fun.
shot.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I mean, you can speak about your time.
Yeah, no.
Well, I was in the house. They brought Nerf guns. I was all about it. I hid. Wasn't great. Had 4 people shooting me as much as they can. It was amazing. But it's cool because a guy like Matt, bullpen trader's
Yep.
dad. He's a dad. He's older than us. I'm the oldest out of all of us, but
They were going
he's a
crazy.
different one.
Yeah.
He's going nuts. He's hiding behind couches. I mean, it is cool because again, you're building that
Yeah.
friendship, that brotherhood, having fun with each other. I think that's pretty awesome.
I felt like I was in a frat house. It was
That's
great.
basically kind of what it is, right?
Kinda.
well,
Well, I mean, we're not that bad.
We're not that bad.
No, we're not
No.
kickstanding.
You said
Nah.
felt bad.
What's your favorite trips?
my favorite trip.
Adam.
Yeah. Go down the line.
Man, I'll probably say the first Pottstown scout team for me was really cool.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
That was unique and that was different. It had its fair share of travel troubles, which is, if you ever get to know us, a pretty common theme. But it was cool and it was different, and getting to see everybody kind of come together. All the coaches stayed together in one house, which is a ton of fun, and that's when we get to kind of kick back at the end of the day and just enjoy being friends, enjoy being around each other. And we go to the fields during the day, and at night we're just hanging out, and it's a good time. So that was really cool, and we got to meet you guys there too, and
It was fun.
it was fun. So
I had family dinners.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Dude, it was fun.
The
Yeah.
table. Yeah.
yeah,
It's hard to decide where to eat though with that many people.
Oh, we still struggle with that.
Yeah.
It's
Nobody
crazy.
wants to pick.
Who's the decision maker? Who's
Oh,
the,
nobody.
And what aspect?
Food?
What aspect are
Yeah.
you asking?
Are you talking
Content?
Like food or content?
Where are you going tonight to eat and who
Oh,
chose
no.
it?
So you're asking the wrong questions.
you'll see us
tell
sitting
you.
on a couch for probably 2 hours, and then some of us will walk away, and then
Yeah.
we'll revisit the conversation. An hour
Yesterday, me and
later.
Adam went to the airport for 40 minutes, came back. The guys at one job, found a place, still nothing.
Yeah, no, Squez is in
One
the
day.
schools.
I
I'm
want you-
outside.
All right. To be fair, 2 of the guys that were supposed to be helping me left to go work out.
Yeah. And we were just
Swerve
could
off.
Coach Swerdloff decided to, instead of helping out, to go lift instead.
have sworn you guys brought him to help,
Priorities.
but felt like he's been hanging this whole time.
No, he's been good on the field. He's been good on the field. On the field, he's been doing his job.
Yeah.
No, so Rob, tell me, favorite experience.
I'm gonna go with last year PGI 12U trip. I
Oh,
mean,
that was a
great
good
trip.
one.
this
That
was
a good one.
probably, I would say, my favorite trip just because everything went smooth for the first time.
The
we
only
were-
time.
The only time.
First
Someone's
time.
always missing a flight or late or the car or something.
Delay,
Something-
Yeah.
rain.
You don't-
SD card error.
You don't
it
see
happens.
the behind the scenes
It
of
happens.
us up at 4 a.m. in an absolute panic,
That's-
trying to figure out what we're doing.
So Rob, so that was the cleanest.
I mean, we went there for a couple days, and almost every video we did went perfectly well. We were trading bats, we were giving away assignments with the steal of the base. You
Yep.
know, it's one of the first times we did that.
The steel base is really cool. I really like that a lot. I
Yeah.
think that's fun. I think that's really fun.
Are you gonna try it?
What
You
is
get
it?
hosed.
Guys, you guys always get me to run. It's unbelievable. I'm 33. 33, guys. I don't
You're young.
run.
That's
You're in your
young.
prime.
I just had my
Nelly's
first
fit.
son.
Wow.
I could just say I'm a dad.
He's an athlete.
You're in your
Good.
prime. You're in your
You're an
prime.
athletic dad.
Yeah.
Come on
Still
now.
run.
You got time.
I'm about to go buy those white New Balances so they just leave me alone.
Yeah, it's the Air Monarchs. The Monarchs. You got to get those. You got to get those.
So Mo, talk to me.
Those are some good options.
Yeah, you get the.
That's
right.
right.
Good luck.
That's right.
Took the good ones.
I guess the trip we took to Vegas and drove from Vegas to
That
Arizona,
was the exact trip that he said.
but I like the Vegas
It
part.
can be yours.
You like the
soon,
Vegas
don't
part?
worry.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do in Vegas?
That's one cool thing. Like one time you gotta like
Bananas.
chill and go
Lots of
to a
bananas.
buffet.
Oh yeah, that was good.
yeah,
And
okay.
good
Pretty good
buffet.
Okay.
Oh, so it's a different. You like the experience
Compared to like 11 p.m. McDonald's run, I would say
Of
that
the
was
of the
pretty
like
good.
the,
What's
the
wrong
with
50
11
plus
p.m.
trips we
McDonald's
took, his
run?
highlight was
It
a
happens to
buffet.
the buffet.
And then
Okay,
somebody actually ate 300
I mean, I would have
credits.
thought you would have said Omaha or something, but that wasn't said.
Oh, no.
But okay, we're there. All right, I appreciate that.
Omaha's okay.
Omaha's good.
You guys went to Omaha,
just
yeah?
get
We
mobbed.
did.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
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 Get mobbed, guys. Anywhere you go, you're gonna get mobbed.
No,
at
but like
baseball.
No,
Omaha
it was-
was
it was
bad.
Think so. It was good that I didn't go for that one then.
Like we walked
No, it
into the
would have been great if you were
stadium.
there.
We walked in at
because
third
you
inning.
would have been passing each other. Go to Adam. Go to this.
No,
Yeah.
we walked in at third inning, didn't get to our seats until the end of the sixth. So like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, but it was fun.
It was cool, though.
I mean, it's cool. We like taking pictures and stuff. But I
No,
would
it's
say
cool.
we got mobbed.
That's cool though. But that's cool. That's a cool experience because you gotta understand too. Like just as me, none of you guys play pro ball. You know what I'm saying? None of you guys.
Nope.
And for kids to run up on you and you're getting that same treatment as a Lindor walks in the building or a Boba Shed or, for example, at the ballpark now, we got Miggy with us and they're running up on us and not Miggy. You know, they're going to us, then they'll go to Miggy because dad and mom told them to go over there. You
Yep.
know? To me, that's an accomplishment. That's something you impact the game.
But that's the power of social media, right? And
Yeah.
we've seen it firsthand that people will recognize us way more than they recognize some certain athletes. And
Yeah.
you know, even myself, like we've been to tournaments and we would see, you know, a professional athlete kind of just hanging around and we didn't even notice,
Yeah.
to be honest, right? And sometimes you just don't. And but these kids that are watching our content every single day, you know, and you see us in person for the first time, I don't blame them. I would probably go up to them too. Like I used to look up to content creators when I was younger, and I'm sure I would have been the exact same way. And so that's why whenever a kid asks for a picture or an autograph, like I will never say no.
Yeah,
that's
no.
that's the only thing I would never say no to that because I understand how cool that is for them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yesterday, just being at the ballpark, got a couple kids. I drove from Miami.
Yeah.
Just to go watch
Yeah.
us play, and then they're driving back.
that's crazy.
I mean, it's 3.5 hours, guys. It's
I know.
almost a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Just to go
It's
watch you
nuts.
play 7 innings, and we don't even make it a 7.
Not
We make it
even.
a 3 or 4.
Not
And 4
even
the most.
6 innings. 6 innings.
So that's crazy.
Well, and how did you guys get there? Like, what was you said you did other content before that?
Yeah.
But it's like, so what was the transition to first of all baseball? But how did the Pottstown Scout team even kind of come about?
Well, I'd say it
Throwing in.
started with one of our ideas was to go to baseball tournaments and to pretend to be college scouts, and it was all fun and jokes. And then we eventually came up with the name Pottstown University, which then led to the Pottstown Scout team eventually. So that's where the Pottstown originates from.
Yeah, the Pottstown originated. I like
It was
the
random.
story. It was
It's
random.
random. It's
It
just
really
I
was.
remember
It's not
we
a
were
real
all
school.
sitting there like we should do a team one
There's-
day. And
Yeah.
he calls me a month later and he's like, "Let's do it."
Yeah.
I was like, "This is crazy." Didn't think going to the first time with you guys. You know, again, I do the Phillies and I was was blessed to have Drew Jones and other guys I have. When we started the camera thing in Travel Ball and it blew up, and then to go with you guys, content creators, because I don't consider myself one, but real content creators, and do a team together. And from what we came from the first, there wasn't fans at our first ones. And then you go to the second one, and it's like we can't even walk in the ballpark. You guys impact hard. Like it was just the experience, me being there. And again, I've been coaching for 11 years. I have 75 first rounders, 35 premier big leaguers. I have more fun over there with you guys than I do with my own because I'm stressing. Obviously, it's a job now. But you guys, it was the best, one of my best experience. Being on the field and getting a smile and ain't got to stress too much. Kids are really good too. Really good. The first one we did lose in the championship, but it was one of my best experiences. And watching the other team do backflips because they beat these guys, it was crazy. It was like they faced the Phillies or the Met scout team or someone crazy. I thought that was really cool at that age.
It's fun seeing the excitement in the kids. Like it has to be rewarding. You guys put in a lot of work, and it's a lot more effort than I think people realize to get things from your camera to in front of their eyes on the screen. But it's such a rewarding process when the kids are so excited.
I think I have a little more feeling toward it because I do get to go to the house and I see these guys. They don't sleep.
Yeah.
They're editing
Yeah.
until 4 a.m. just to get these kids, dropping videos or whatever. And it's a job. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
For you guys, it's a real job because you don't hire editors. You don't do none of that. You're doing it upstairs, which to me is pretty crazy.
It's teamwork.
Sitting on the field for 7 hours and going home and sitting on the computer is tough. I think, it's tough. I was exhausted yesterday alone. I felt like I played, and it was hot.
Yeah.
And then you guys go upstairs, making content, which I thought was pretty cool. Another thing, you brought up social media, which I love. Let's talk about your platform, before CS9. I know you were into other stuff, a little magic, a little something. Let's talk to me about that name, Adam.
Magic.
Yeah, so the name, honestly,
I want to see a trick.
Rob is like,
so we'll be honest, back in the day, we used to make some content that was more, well, if you ever see the, America's Got Talent or any of those, kind of shows, and, you see a magician kind of doing their thing, we basically would just tell you how they did it.
So you were breaking the rules.
You ruined the fun.
Yeah, I mean, not that we really cared, but we did. And, that was really what we did for 5 years, honestly. So nobody, we didn't show our face. It wasn't anything like that. It was just something that we did for fun. And
how did you figure out how they did the magic trick?
We just knew.
it wasn't really hard to figure it out. Sometimes you just need a level of common sense. He probably didn't put that knife in his arm. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do that.
We just knew. You slow pokes.
Not that hard.
Come on, guys. It's not that hard.
It's obvious. You didn't go invisible.
So we used to do that, and then we built that YouTube account probably to 200,000 subscribers, and we were doing this when we were 14, 15 years old.
That's impressive. That's you're on the way to Jake Paul. We would have kept going that way.
Right, and we pretty much, it kind of, we stopped doing it towards the end of high school, and then really the opportunity arose on social media once COVID hit. Everybody started creating TikToks, and we got, I got sent home from college, and so I was back home with Rob and started making sports content. At that point, we knew how social media algorithms worked, and we kind of knew how to exploit that. So it was a pretty easy transition. Once we got in, it started working out. Our first video did millions. And so at that point, there was just no looking back. And, for us at least, it probably wouldn't have started had COVID not happened.
Yeah. You getting on the mound and, 119 sliders and 120 fastballs. I've been smoked by one. Yeah, I've been smoked by one. And getting Rob back there catching as well. Not a righty. Just back there catching.
People don't like it.
Don't
We
like it.
That's our style. That's our brand.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
Thanks.
Because it's not like he's missing. He's catching it, and it's 119.
Yep.
He's catching them.
That's
So I
our
think it's
brand.
pretty impressive. Who came up with that idea? What made you hey, let me get a racket and sling it down the middle
It's so impressive.
as hard as you can?
I honestly,
I
don't know
It
who
just
came up with
came
that.
out.
It just happened probably.
Yeah.
I think John,
Because I feel
were
like
there
you
for
did that, you blown up a little bit. I feel like
I think
right
the
after
first
that.
time we did this, video back probably 3 years ago now at this point, where we were okay, can you throw different pitches with the tennis racket basically? And we kind of figured out quickly okay, you can get a fastball, you can get a slider, you can get a curveball. And now recently been working on screwball.
Oh wow.
We're adding some pitches to the arsenal. But as soon as we started doing it, a lot of people basically wanted to try it out and see what it's like to hit off of it. Obviously, you got to hit off of it.
Yeah.
We went with momentum.
Did you
in
get a
their
hit?
Yeah, I got to dribble her down second.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because he knew what was coming.
Got to dribble her down second. Hit's a hit.
And then he got hit twice.
I did get smoked twice.
That was before I had
Control.
any control over it. So you were
were
like
the test
the
subject.
beta test basically.
I wore that one.
But it was fun, honestly. And at this point, I think I could probably strike out a lot of people.
No, I believe you can when you're 100. What are you up to right now? Fastball.
So here's the problem. I think I'm getting older, right? I'm
23.
aging.
23 is aging you.
I'm aging a little
Shoulders.
bit, so the velo has gone down. I would say 2 years ago, I was probably up to 130, 132. Now I'm probably in the 120s, but I got better movement,
Better control.
better control.
Where's your off-speed stuff at?
So I'll probably if you'll go from seeing a 120 fastball to maybe a 56 mile an hour curveball.
That's crazy.
tricky.
My sliders
It's like Jamie
honestly
Moore.
can range anywhere from maybe 70 to 10, maybe 100 something. So I have the ability to kind of mess with the hitter. It's fun.
I like that. I like it. So this fun group you guys have, I think is pretty cool. Let's go into a little bit of serious conversation about
Dun, dun, dun.
helping the kids out social media wise.
Yeah.
social media is a great thing. I don't know if you've seen it on my last podcast. We talked about it with Mohan. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. You know, what advice can you give some of those young guys out there? Because they're going to post everything, they see everything. Do you think it can ruin your career? Because I can tell you, I believe it does.
I think you just got to be mature about it. You got to remember that.
Well, before you go into it, not to cut you
Yeah.
off, telling a 12-year-old to be mature about something is pretty tough.
It's hard to do. You gotta, sometimes with the spotlight they're in, you forget they're 12. Especially the kids that are on our team, they're massive, bigger than me. Probably ate different stuff than I was growing up.
What were you eating when you grew up?
Not whatever they were. We drank the same water. But
It's fair. We're all pretty short here.
It's valid.
Yeah.
it is true that everything gets filmed now. A lot of athletes, like when we were growing up watching, they didn't have to deal with the constant phone in your face. Got to someone doing a video, but you might be in the background doing something stupid that you don't even know what's going on. So it's being mindful of your surroundings, in the situation, that you are young and people should forgive some stuff if you mess up, because everyone deserves like a second chance. And you shouldn't have to change your whole life because of one thing you did maybe when you're 12. But it is important that you acknowledge that people are watching, and you should be careful about what you put
Well,
out.
they're watching, and they're watching on a Pottstown scout team,
Yeah.
and one of the biggest teams in the world right now. They want you to fail. They're looking for any failure,
Yeah.
right? Anything I can nitpick and be like, that's wrong.
Yep.
It's not what you're supposed to do. They're wrong for that, right?
Do you guys have people in your comments like hating?
All the time.
We have people behind our dugouts.
At least they're doing it to your face.
Yeah, no. But like, no, you're right. Social media it can be really, helpful and really dangerous at the same time. If I had to give advice, I would say just watch what you post. It's cool, if you want to win a championship, post about it, but like, just be ready. Sometimes you will get backlash, even if you do nothing wrong. You could post just that you won a championship with your team,
Yeah.
and someone out there could just say you were rude about it, you disrespectful about it.
It's just always gonna happen.
So like with us, when we go places, like other parents will blame us for like their teams losing when we're not even a part of their game, because they say we're a distraction behind their dugout or something. So like, you have to take that on the chin, and we understand the aspect of like, yeah, we're gonna post content, but like you can't please everyone.
No.
So
No,
like,
absolutely not.
for the 12-year-olds, just be mindful, and if someone's gonna criticize you, as long as you're doing something right, just wear it on the chin and keep moving forward.
I think there's so much to be said for like focusing on the right thing, right? There's always something to pick on. Like even with the kids on the internet, it's like focusing intentionally what you're ingesting, what you're taking in, what people are speaking to. If you're listening, it's so important.
No,
That's why we use our platform,
Yeah.
and that's a large reason why we do this team, right? Is we know we have a platform to be able to give advice to these kids, and not only that, it's filmed. So like the things that we're telling the kids and the advice that we're giving them, because we do this all the time, it's shareable to everybody that watches. The millions of kids that watch this, they get the same lessons and they hear the same things that our players hear. And obviously we're a resource to the players if they need anything from us, if they need to have a question about anything social media related, sports related, even life advice. Like we are there to give that to them. And that's the ability that we have having this platform, and we use it as much as we can to give back to youth sports and just young athletes all around.
Do you when you created this, again, I got my own organization, I do my own thing, and I know my answer. Do you feel you get attached to the kids now? Do you feel like, damn, I know this guy now, like this is one of my guys? Like, do you feel like, hey, you played with me one time, you stay in contact and you become friends with them, you try to mentor them, or is it one time play and go, you never talk to them again?
We definitely keep in contact, and like we're always rooting for them, even when they're not playing with us. We're constant, keep track of like the 14U, even the 12U we did last year. We're making sure they're all right. We tell them to catch up with us if we're there in the area, to come out and see us.
Well, it's so incredible. I was saying that today at the field. I was telling Jess that like I watch and the players from the other teams come back and support, and they're wearing their jerseys and they're excited, and even like the 14-year-olds want to be there for the 12-year-olds and the 13. It just shows, it's a testament to what you guys are like building, the
It's like
atmosphere.
a family.
Yeah.
They all look out for each other, and they all are really good players. So they
Really
understand
good.
the pressure of what they're going through, and they can kind of coach. Like Carter Nash and Charlie were here for this tournament, and their experience of going through what we put them through, with all the cameras, all the spotlight, showing them, the 12 of you, how to handle that. It's pretty cool to see.
Nah, that's pretty awesome. I do respect it a lot. I mean, when you got players like you guys bring in All-American players and all that, I mean, you're potentially coaching draft picks in the future.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are going, a lot of them, you'd be surprised, I'm calling, they're going in the first round. You know, you're going to try to follow them through that whole career and stuff like that, I'm assuming, right? Being out there, getting that phone call or keeping that relationship on draft day from them, because I get that. It's pretty cool. And, you know, you can sit there like, damn, I was a part of his journey a little bit. You kind of blew their platform up. I mean, to me, that's awesome. You know, you get my respect for that one.
It's definitely not like, you know, why we do it. Like, we're not doing it to be able to say that we had this person on our team. That's not at all why we do this. But obviously, we will stay in touch with them. And, you know, if they need anything from us, like, they know we are a resource to them for anything. And this is as they get older as well. And that's exactly kind of what Ali was alluding to when we have players that come back.
Yeah.
You know, we tell our players, ask questions. It's fine. Like, understand that we are all in this together, and we understand that you guys are going to have struggles throughout the rest of your career. It doesn't matter how far you go, you're going to have struggles, and it's fine to ask somebody a little bit older than you. It's fine to ask somebody that's a lot older than you. It's fine to ask us. And so we're there as a resource, and, you know, players that come back, they're there as a resource as well. And so, you know, it's just a very collaborative process, and that's, you know, what we aim for all the time. But it's really worked out really well.
I mean, even we ask them questions about
Exactly.
certain stuff we trying to push out or trying to do, and they're like, will this work? Is this something you guys would vibe with? Kids your age would think is cool, and sometimes we want them to be honest. And sometimes they are honest. Like, that's an awful idea.
It's a focus group, good focus group for us.
But it's cool to have that age group and the maturity level that they have
Yeah.
help us out in a lot of decisions we make.
That's pretty awesome.
The relationships are so special, for sure. It's like, I know obviously every kid can't come be on the team, and that's something you guys have had to work through, pick through. But it's like, for the guys that do get to be around you, it's like such a cool experience for them to be able to learn.
No, I mean, I don't want those kids out there to feel some type of way not getting picked. It's tough. There's thousands of kids that sign up. It's really hard. This is tough on them to pick, because I get, at least at my tryouts, you're there. There's 350 y'all. When you're in the thousands, it's tough. That's like PG picking All-American.
It's
tough.
not easy.
It's
It's
not.
not. It's so hard.
And it's not personal.
It's not, and that's the thing. Like, you know, that people have to understand is, we get 13 spots and they fill up fast.
Yeah.
You know, when we're talking 10,000 players that sign up, like, those spots are going to fill up quickly, and, you know, that's why we try to do as many teams as possible to be able to give as many players the opportunity. You know, like, that's for us a huge thing, is being able to give back. And so, but it is difficult on us, and, you know, I think some people just think we're always going to take the best players, and, you know, there's requirements to make it. There really isn't, you know, for the most part, and we're going to do whatever we can to get as many new players on the team as possible.
I mean,
It's
if you
just-
really wanted to, we could have put a whole Select Fest team together, and all these kids aren't Select Fest kids, you know, and I think that's cool. You got to mix it up a little bit. You guys are good, though, and just getting, like, PG to be able to, hey, go in this tournament, you're good, and the freedom, and Evo Shield showing you love, Wilson showing you love. I think that's pretty cool, you know. These brands are coming to you like, hey, wear my stuff. Hey, do this on the field, and helping you out on that process. Yo, custom this, custom that. You've done something in this game, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a huge tribute to all the sponsors that help us out. People don't know this, but, like, the first team, we had, you know, some sponsors that helped us out, but we bought a lot of the stuff that we gave to that team, and we actually lost about, like, $10,000, like, doing that team. And, like, the first thing we said was, let's just do it again. Like, that's, you know, who cares? We're doing it again. You know, but immediately Wilson, Evo Shield, Deemerny, they hopped on and said, we'll help you guys out with the gear. And that's been a huge help for us in being able to do this. But we knew it was all about the kids and being able to give back. So losing 10,000 wasn't a huge deal in our book.
That's pretty awesome right there.
Love.
Just to wrap it up real quick, you know, I thought we had some really good conversations here. I mean, obviously you guys are one of the, to me, you know, and I express this to a lot of people, the biggest platform for baseball youth right now is you guys. You know, there's not many guys like a team like y'all that have 1 million subscribers and get to drop videos, and you're doing, you know, not just Pottstown, but you're going to tournaments and doing giveaways, bat trades, you know, sliding mitts, whatever. I mean, you guys are bringing an experience in any place you get to go to. How does that make you feel, you know, when you're deciding, hey, I'm going to go to this and do a bat trade and I got 1 million subscribers? Are you just picking random kids, or are you going for the best kid? You know, is this something, are you looking for a certain wow, or are you just making your own wow?
I would say a lot of it a lot of it's random, you know. Sometimes we go to, like, if you get lucky, you know, sometimes a kid just broke his back. And that was like, all right, let's get him a new one. And it happened just like that, you know. A lot of it's just random, you know. It's just luck with
That's
us,
pretty
you know.
cool, though.
So it's not always the best player. Like, anyone has a chance to
Right.
get something from us, you know, because we're just trying to give everything away.
And we've asked coaches before, like, you know, is there anyone on your team that doesn't have a bat? You know, and we've actually done trades where they didn't have a bat to give us, like, or it was broken, like Rob said, or whatever the situation might be. And so for us to be able to give a brand new bat, and now we have the opportunity to give away unreleased bats, stuff that isn't even out, and that's like probably the coolest thing for any kid to be able to have a bat before anybody else. So it's been cool. That series has been fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, you know, obviously this podcast is dropping a little later for you guys. You know, got time. Want to see, do you guys, anything personal you guys are dropping yourself that you wouldn't mind saying on here?
Nah.
No.
That's what I wanted to ask earlier. Like, it even sounds forming a channel like that, making content, the creative process. Do you see baseball or like sports, athletics being kind of your outlet of where you continue to move, or what is like a long-term career for this for you guys that you kind of look to, or like a goal? Just kind of go with the baseball thing, see how large you can expand, or do you guys have any interest in other sports or?
I'd say right now we're riding the baseball wave, but
Yeah.
we are not opposed to, you know, sports in general.
Yeah.
And like every sport, you know, I mean, we all are big fans of sports. So
You guys are
wherever
all
we
mixed
can go,
well.
man, wherever we can go, and you know, if people want to see more of tennis content, or they want to see some soccer content, or you know, basketball, whatever it is, football, we'll find a football player, we'll find a friend or something, you know, and we'll make it work, whatever the fans want.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Seeing that you guys have had some like fire collaborations coming, I'm excited to see what you guys do in the future.
I'm excited to see the next Pottstown and everything we get to go. I mean, hopefully this gets to go for a decade right here. That's my goal. That'd be
pretty
fun.
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be pretty. That'd be
Pretty
cool.
cool,
You
wouldn't
guys,
it?
you guys are my age next time, and I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
And like, ooh.
You might be in a wheelchair coming to us now at that point.
Hopefully not. My son would be like 10.
Your kid could be on like the debut team.
That would
Yeah.
be tough. But, man, I really appreciate you guys coming. I know you guys are slam busy, man. You guys are family to me. I really appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having us.
you,
man.
guys.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Get some
guys.
food.
Yeah.
What's
That's
up?
the goal.
So go eat some dinner.
Yeah.
So this is the Step Up Podcast. This is your host, Nelly. Shout out to Ali.
Bye,
And my
guys.
home team, my brother CS9 in the building, baby.
See you guys.